Ready, hot!
As Iowa State spun into Norman on Saturday morning, there were reasons for the Cyclones to be confident. The team was coming off its biggest victory in school history, that double overtime win over Oklahoma State. Redshirt freshman quarterback Jared Barnett was undefeated as a starter. And let's be honest, it was pretty much Iowa State weather, brutally windy, blustery, and cold. But on the flip side, Oklahoma had won the last 12 games between these two teams, including 1 year ago when the Cyclones came to Norman and left 52-0 losers.
Even though the game was officially a sellout, the actual attendance was probably the smallest of the Stoops era. Still, it was the final home game for 15 Sooner seniors, including the injured Ryan Broyles, linebacker Travis Lewis, and the late Austin Box. And a win was essential in order for OU to have a shot at the Big 12 title. Game was anything but pretty early as Iowa State fumbled twice in the first 7.5 minutes. Then OU botched the punt snap and lost 35 yards on the play, all the way back to the Sooners' 10. From there, the Cyclones wasted no time as Jared Barnett threw the pass off the hand of big Frank Alexander. Ricochet burned two OU defenders as it ended up in the hands of Albert Gary for the 10-yard score. Iowa State missed the extra point but led 6-3 with 5:48 left in the first. Things only got worse. So on the last play of the first quarter, Blake Bell tried throwing from the Belldozer package. The ball, which may have been tipped, was promptly intercepted by Cyclones linebacker Jake Knott for the touchback. But the Sooners would eventually reclaim the lead as Landry Jones connected with Kenny Stills in traffic for a 20-yard gain all the way down to the 7-yard line. Stills had 5 catches for 70 yards. Blake Bell would come in at that point and successfully cap the 10-play, 79-yard drive with a 3-yard run for the score. OU led 10-6 with 8:12 left in the first half. From there, the Cyclones managed to gain only 9 yards on the next possession before a 21-yard punt gave the Sooners decent field position, and OU dug into its bag of tricks, unleashing the reverse to speedster Trey Franks, who gets around the corner and soars for 43 yards before going down like a track star with only a hint of contact. Roy Finch then gave it his best effort, but it could only juke and dive down to the 1-yard line. Still, he took some real hits there. Finch finished with 15 carries for 83 yards. But Blake Bell, he crossed the threshold once again from 1 yard out for the score. OU then led 17-6 with 3:22 left in the first half. Bell ran 8 times for 14 yards and 2 touchdowns. He threw 1 pass for an interception. He scored 9 touchdowns in the past 4 weeks. Iowa State was moving the ball when Jared Barnett's pass was tipped up in the air by Tom Wart and intercepted by Travis Lewis, who rumbled, bumbled, and stumbled 55 yards all the way for the score, except a questionable illegal blocking call would bring the ball back all the way to the Cyclones' 33-yard line. Wart led OU with 11 tackles. Sooners would settle for a 28-yard Michael Honeycutt field goal to make it 20-6, thanks to a fumbled kickoff, but even add another field goal to lead 23-6 at the half. Not much doing in the third quarter as neither team scored. That's the first time that's happened this season for OU. But in the fourth, it was back to the trickery for the Sooners as sophomore receiver Trey Franks once again got the ball off the reverse and headed down the sideline, seemingly destined for pay dirt this time. It was not to be, as Franks comes up just short on the 45-yard gain. Franks had 2 carries for 88 yards. That's not a bad average, is it? From there, the Sooners had to settle for yet another field goal, though, this time from only 21 yards out, and that's the final, as the Sooners win a low-scoring affair 26-6 over Iowa State. Not a pretty outing by any means, but OU gains 509 total yards and rushes for 253, while holding Iowa State to only 245 total yards. Sooner seniors walk off the field for the final time victorious. And with so much on the line next week in Stillwater, this lackluster game was quickly forgotten as focus shifted to Bedlam.
I never make too much of any one game. It still gets down to, what you do through the week. But we'll go in confidently, if that's what you're asking me. We're a bunch that, have been over there plenty of times and understand the challenge of it and respect the challenge of it. But But I believe our team's also excited about it. They know it's a one-game season with the chance for the Big 12 championship. That's where you want to be.
I mean, this is big. I mean, this is Bedlam, and it's for the Big 12 title. So that's really enough said. I mean, there's nothing else really to say. I mean, it's a trip to the Fiesta Bowl. OSU's playing for their first BCS appearance ever in their school's history. So. This is definitely a huge game. This definitely would be a great way for me to go out as a senior.
I feel good. I feel great. Feel good, blessed. All that. That we, those guys came out there. And we stepped up and played to a level I know that we was capable of playing all year. So we got a lot of talent on this team and a lot of good young guys. And we just got to do a good job of staying locked in and staying focused.
We're going against an offense who has a quarterback who's mature, obviously, and can throw the ball, and very good receivers. Top receiver in the nation, Blackman, and other guys that complement him. So we know we just got to play our game.
Yeah, I mean, every week has its challenges, believe it or not, and some are more difficult than others. This will be our most difficult challenge of the year in regards to high-octane scoring, precise, explosive players. Great challenge, without a doubt. And we haven't played like we're capable of playing, defending the pass, and we need to play our best game that way, obviously.
So the Sooners get an ugly win, but a win nonetheless. And if you thought the weather in Norman was frightful on Saturday, just wait till you get a load of Bedlam. Forecasts call for temperatures in the 30s, possibly with wintry precipitation. One thing's for certain, the Sooners and Cowboys will fight it out for the Big 12 title, 7 o'clock in Stillwater on Saturday night. Reporting from Owen Field in Norman, Damon Fontenot, News OK Sports.